Hello, and welcome back from your short break. So yes, today we will touch a bit slightly on the surface how to build a tech startup, and specifically in healthcare. I'm working for Tehnopol, and Tehnopol is a platform where we, together with all the stakeholders, trying to make a change in healthcare in a way that we really developing and bringing to the market innovative solutions. And I'm really happy, and my name is Piret Hirv. About my background, I've been in health tech for a few years, but I'm also a trained nurse, so I do have a bit understanding how the body functions and how the technology can influence your life. And I'm really happy that I'm here together with Ain Aaviksoo, who is actually, we just had a small discussion that he also used to be my teacher in the university. So, but Ain, you have seen the health tech industry from different sides. You have been you are a doctor. You have been on the policy level as a civil servant, really influencing the environment where you can implement the technological solutions for health and care sector. You have been working for a big cybersecurity company. You have been as a consultant, and now you are building a startup. So elaborate, please.
Right. Well, thank you, Piret. First of all, to reflect on the title, what does it take to build a startup? You have to accommodate to the environment. So this is the first time I'm doing a fireside chat standing, but it's supposedly healthy for you. Now, yes, I have been in the role where I try to encourage health tech startups, either as a consultant or working for the government, or teaching people in the university. Each role I take, and this is also perhaps for all the health tech startups, the people who are in their respective role should enjoy what they do. So currently I'm fully enjoying doing a startup. This is not the first one. Actually, we started together with my wife in 1999. How many of you were born in before 1999?
Don't ask this question.
Okay, please. Yeah. So yes, believe it or not, at that time also young people did things they didn't know are startups. But we started a first health web portal called inimene.ee. And you can go and see it's still up and running. It uses the same logo I did as the final year medical student. So that, yes, we like building brands that last over decades. Now, but in each of those roles, you cannot succeed alone. So I want to give a really credit for Tehnopol. There is health founders, so all those accelerators for health tech companies, I believe, are more important than for others, and we can elaborate on that, which means that those different roles come together and help the most important guys who are the founders.
Yeah, let's look at the big picture at first. So, health industry is quite tricky one. You have unidentified timetables. Demand for resources is huge, and specifically in the moment when you have no income, no nothing, you need the biggest amounts of money. But yet, explain me please, when the industry becomes hot for a person like you, or why you even entered this kind of tricky business?
Well, healthcare has been innovation intensive since the birth. I mean, think about the life expectancy that has grown. It would have not been possible with all the medicines, starting from antibiotics and now the cancer treatments, and now increasingly also the digital technologies. So health innovation isn't something new, and it doesn't mean that health somehow has become hot recently. What has changed, though, recently is that it is now also possible to go as a small startup and do and change the world. It used to be the game of big boys, hospital CEOs, doctors with 25 years of experience and credibility, insurance companies, pharma companies. But now, I think maybe for the last 10 years, and I might be biased. I have been working myself in the public sector, but I think that the change came at the time when several governments, in Europe I know, Northern Ireland, Finland, by the way, has health and growth strategy. I think it changes when the societies see that health is not just about taking care of the broken people. Health is actually something that can drive the economy. And as a kind of first tip to all the health startups, if that specific market or the place you try to bring up your company isn't yet ready there yet, meaning that they don't feel that they would like to grow business in the health domain, then maybe to start somewhere else, and then come back when they have woken up and seen that health is not only about costs, it is about opportunities.
Yeah, but you said also yourself that healthcare is a huge space. How you get focused there? Like how you find your priorities and the way, how you choose your way?
Well, I don't know how many of you saw the previous example. So you take pregnancy and you take stress and you put them together so that in the end you might find yourself in a very narrow space. But in healthcare, this is the only way to go. The healthcare is really, really specialized. And in mental health, currently one of the struggles that we are having is to understand, okay, what is the role of a therapist and the primary care doctor and then the insurers and the hospital and the individual themselves and the employer. And if you go and start working in one area, you have to prove that you drive some value. So somebody in that system is applauding to you and is willing to pay for your services. But you always have to have in mind that fixing a problem in one part of health sector actually might cause a new problem in another one. You're taking away their business. And there are big boys who are used to do business in their way, clumsy, sometimes even not the most efficient or even most beneficial to the patient. So yes, you have to go in a very narrow point, but you always have to look around and find those partners. So you need those partners, even if they are not the customers, but the ones whose interests are aligned with yours, and then you can take the fights with the incumbents.
So you slightly touched already my next question. So you have your idea, you have kind of clear path, but how to find fuel for your ideas to push them through? And I'm not talking about the money, because we had this money talk just before we came on the stage. So how to find the fuel for your ideas?
Right, I already told that choose the right context. In healthcare or in health tech, you need to do research and development. And I'm very enthusiastic and I'm quickly excited. So I have made already, after a few years of experience, the mistake that you start the journey without enough money to do your R&D. And then you go to the investors and you burn that money quite quickly. So that for R&D, there are plenty of opportunities for public money. And this is what you should have in your pocket in health tech. Maybe there are companies with huge pockets, billions, to support you through that process just with the venture money. But I think that's not the wisest thing to do. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. Then you need those investors. And those investors need to have stamina. I mean, in healthcare and in health tech, the time horizon from the start to actually get your first validation, at least I would say, is 2 years. Yes, of course, in 6 months' time, you need to have found the problem. and you need to have a problem and a solution fit, but not your product and the solution fit. And coming back to those big companies, Google, Microsoft, IBM, all of them went into healthcare boldly without building partnerships inside healthcare with doctors or hospitals or all those people who the rest of the society trusts that they know about people's health. They all fail. Google has failed twice. So that find the ecosystem that supports you, find the investors that are willing to back you through that tough road, and then also find the partners in the health domain that have the credibility, who can, vouch for your ideas also from the technical or medical point of view.
So going back to your own rather small startup, what are the other factors that could make you successful, also not in Estonia only, but also internationally? You mentioned resources. You mentioned the network around you. Are there any other factors?
So if you're looking that I should say that we are very thankful to Tehnopol to mentor us, then yes, you need Piret and Tehnopol, and that was. But anyhow, the accelerators, the programs that bring together to you more than one specialist. I mean, we are now working with the University of Tartu and psychologists. We are working with the Taltech and the machine learning experts. We are working with the Estonian Academy of Arts and the design students. Because in mental health, 95% of apps, people disregard them because they don't provide them any value and they are easy to disregard. So what we are trying to do is to find the sweet spot where you have the human emotional bond, say you have a coach or somebody whom you trust, and then maybe the relationship over a 3-month period is managed by automated processes or some smart notifications that you get. But you still feel that they probably come from that person that you know with a face and voice and name. Those different competencies are absolutely vital to be successful. So blending it together, and yes, it would be impossible only in Tehnopol. So with the help of Tehnopol, we're going to Norway, we're going to Leeds to find partners in NHS, we're talking to some other accelerators, and not because they just accelerate you with the money, but mentoring and smart people, I think, are crucial in medtech and health tech.
It's always really important to decide what to do, but it's even more, in my mind, it's even more important to decide what not to do when you build your successful solution, your business. How you make those decisions? I'm
very bad at those decisions. But because in the company currently I do perform in the product owner's role. Actually, people who want to become product owners, please come to us. I'd like to offload that tough task, because when the researchers and the health people come to me that, oh, I just came to an idea that this would be very good, a feature for these people, because, I met last day 12 people and 8 of them needed our mental health support, but these 2 people are especially in need of a feature which, I don't know, suggest them a nice song in the evening when they don't know what to do. So actually these pitching contests, at least they have trained me a lot. I mean, if you have 3 minutes to tell the most important things, you'll learn to understand what is the most important thing in that context. And then also, when you go to the customers, you ask from your customers, what is the feature that would make them to use your product right now? And it sounds trivial, but even within our very short time frame, when we have been actually launching our MVP with the customers and now launching the version 1, 6 months period, the customers will credit one feature that is most valuable to them over the ones that they don't get right now, and they're willing to forgive if you tell them, okay, you get that in half year's time. So don't be afraid to say them, no, you can't do this right now, but we will offer you, for instance, this personalized analysis of yourself so that you understand yourself better in the best possible way. And that actually helps you to grow your customer satisfaction together with your monthly recurring revenue.
So yeah, I'm looking at the time, so our time is running really fast. To all of you, this conversation will continue also in social media. Find us and ask questions there. And we will publish also Ain's full text, which is really long, and he has really insightful ideas. So find us in a social media and contact us here. But just to wrap it up, so what you need is a good idea, resilience. What you need also is a good network around you. Find those right people. Actually, I found also one opportunity to Drug Hunter, who was presenting their idea just in a first session. Startup Day should use their testing tool as a really, let's test run it next year during the Startup Days. Let's see how efficient it is. So find those people who are willing and really supporting your idea and your struggles, or also more happier moments. Any other things you would like to add?
Yes. You need to take care of your mental health.
That's why.
And not because I'm in this business.
Yeah.
I am in this business,
but you
and I still make the mistakes.
But you also do predictions, so it's
yeah. It's going to be a long journey. It's also a lot of fun. What is absolutely good in and maybe even special about health domain, maybe similar to all the environmental and green topics. Ask for help. The area is emotionally very bonding, which means that those people who, okay, if you want to take one day off their life, they might ask money from you for that. But many even are willing to give away full day, all the knowledge they have. So don't try to struggle all alone. Ask for help. And what we have also done is that we have spoken to many other startups who even might be considered like competitors for us. We have learned so much, and actually this community is also very supportive. So it's a fun journey.
With a mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ain.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ain and Piret. Thank you.